Welcome back. Almost 1 year after the Ajuda building was gutted by fire, taking with it the entire Voyager business that was situated there, the manager says he and his business partner have had to toil, but they are grateful that they have finally been able to reopen. Genevieve Gonzague has that report.
On November 21, 2019, the well-known Ajuda building, which housed the popular Voyager business establishment on the corner of William Peter Boulevard, Labrie Street, and West Hall Lane, was destroyed by fire. On that fateful day, the smoke emanating from the blaze was sighted from miles away. It took more than 2 hours for 6 fire trucks and several firefighters from the Castries Fire Service, the Grosile Fire Station, and the Babono Fire Station to bring the fire under control. Almost a year later, at the official reopening of the Voyager store, manager Manish Matani says he has landed on his feet and is excited to be back in business.
We had commitment to our staff, so we had to make sure that we continued. We didn't stop and give up, and that's really important that we didn't give up. So we pursued, and it was a road that was not easy to go through. But we persevered, and we finally have a place that we can call our store for a long-term period. We did have a smaller store for a while, but that was just a temporary thing. And this was a plan to have something bigger, something more resembling what we had before. And so it's a culmination of the efforts of a lot of people, not myself alone, but my brother, who is my partner, my business partner. He makes the decisions with me. This is a staff here that have been with me, who have been understanding and patient with me. It's the management of Valmore as well, because they've been very understanding and very accommodating to us.
The businessman says it's been an uphill battle since the fire, given the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020.
It wasn't an easy journey for us. After the fire, we had a lot of compromises, a lot of things we had to get done. Financially, it was very, very difficult for us. We got help from some people, and that always helps, to have help from others. And once that happened, things started to take some momentum. Momentum was carried on, and then COVID came along, and then it seems like we were back at square one. But what can we do? We had to persevere. We had to keep on going, and we tried not to let that affect what we had before. We didn't want our staff to suffer. We didn't lay off anybody. We didn't cut any salaries or anything like that. So we just wanted to try to get some normalcy.
Given that the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic may continue very well into the foreseeable future, he is ecstatic that he and his team were able to pull through and are managing amid the tough times. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Thank you, Genevieve. One health educator is on a mission to spread the word about breast cancer awareness and has started a campaign to get the message across far and wide. Through her social media pages, Sex Talk, she is allowing women and men to reach out to their peers in their own unique way, urging them to get screened and to look after their breasts.
Alison Isbert is a passionate health educator who is on a mission to spread the message of breast cancer awareness as well as the importance of self and medical screening. October is globally recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Isbert has set her sights on shining a light on the disease that is one of the biggest killers of women in the world. Through her social media pages Sex Talk with Ali on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, Isbert has embarked on a campaign to get at least 31 individuals to deliver the important message in their own unique way.
As a health educator, I decided to start off a social media page called Sex Talk with Ali. And the idea for the campaign came about because I know that it is a month where we give heightened attention to breast cancer and what women and men need to do. So I decided to start that campaign using various models, both male and female, where the upper torso is given prominence while they give a message of breast cancer per person. So whether it be you're a husband, you're a mom, you're a daughter, you're female, or you're just a man, you have a message, you have a voice, and you give that voice, you lend that voice to breast cancer.
As was mentioned, the upper torso of the participants is prominent. Isbert said whilst she understands that this method of sensitization might attract negative responses from prudes or perverts, she is hopeful that the right people receiving the message will make up the majority.
Now, I know that there are people who are prudes, who are think themselves above what is a natural asset and a natural part of the body. And for those people, there's not much I can do about what they think. But I know for the majority of persons, it goes beyond the fact that the breasts are given some attention. But it's given attention for a health issue, a health condition that is affecting so many women around the globe. Thus far, every single response that has been received on the page has been positive. The views and the response and the engagement of the social media campaign has been awesome. So if any negativity comes, maybe that would come in later. But if you are opposed, then the issue is with you, the problem is with you, and not with the persons who are trying to do something that is going to be impactful to others in the world.
Isbert said she hopes the campaign will cause a sensitization tidal wave.
I'm hoping that viewers of the video on social media would be inspired, would be prompted to check on themselves, to check on their sisters, to check on their mothers, to check on their friends, both male and female, and to really pay attention to an issue that is growing. Breast cancer in St. Lucia continues to be, on the rise. Globally, the same thing. And too many women are affected. And when they are affected, the family is affected, and society by large is affected too. So the idea is behind this that you will be inspired to take action now. Don't wait. Don't let your nervousness or your fear stop you from doing what may just save your life.
Unbeknownst to many, breast cancer also affects men, with at least 2 cases being recorded in St. Lucia. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
The COVID-19 pandemic has created many challenges for the economy, in particular the agricultural sector. Simply Mushrooms, one of the 4 biggest agricultural producers in St. Lucia, lost one of their largest markets earlier this year due to COVID-19. The company, which sold primarily to hotels and supermarkets, had to make changes and reduce production. With support from Massey Stores, the company has been given a significant boost, with freshly grown organic products returning to supermarket shelves.
Plant, Grow, Eat, also known as Marquis River Farm, has one of the biggest youth cooperative farms in St. Lucia and the Caribbean, with the distinction of being the only commercial mushroom growers in the Caribbean. The company was deeply affected by COVID-19 and had to lay off staff and diversify its operations. Plant Grow Eat's junior manager, John Dubois, says the intervention of Massey Stores was timely in getting production back in line.
Conversations with them have given us a new opportunity to grow back mushrooms and also to re-employ some of the staff we had laid off. So now we are planning to produce 1 ton of mushrooms per week to supply to Massey, therefore satisfying our members in the communities.
The mushrooms produced by Plant Grow Eat, or Simply Farms, returned to Massey Stores from Wednesday, October 7th, 2020. Perishables manager at Massey Stores St. Lucia, Dunstan DeMille, says the supermarket chain will resume the sale of locally grown mushrooms, giving a new lease to life to the company impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. He highlights the significance of encouraging the consumption of healthy organic produce and supporting the farming businesses of young entrepreneurs.
We decided that we will work with Plant Grow Eat to ensure that they go back into the mushrooms production, and we try our best to increase the capacity on our shelves, making our population gravitate a lot more towards it, because here's an organic product that is produced in St. Lucia that is of great quality. We are really hoping that St. Lucia come out and support, because you see, it's young persons working here, and it would really help the community too, because it creates employment for some. So the customers have gravitated towards it. The local mushrooms were selling a lot more than the imported, but now we have made a decision that any of the local items that have been produced by Plant Grow It, we're not going to import it. So they will have no competition on the button mushrooms and the other mushrooms that they produce here.
DeMille says customers favor local mushrooms over imported mushroom products. Through this collaborative effort, the supermarket chain is assuring Plant Grow Eat of a market for its produce, giving a boost to the agricultural sector and helping to reduce imports of products grown in St. Lucia. Jacques Winning, Hot 7 News.
The St. Lucia Social Development Fund has been working with the Office of Diaspora Affairs to help distribute donations received from people living in the diaspora. The latest undertaking is the establishment of a thrift shop in St. Lucia with the aim of assisting the local population.
The St. Lucia Social Development Fund has been working closely with the Diaspora Office to help facilitate the donations received from the St. Lucia diaspora. The latest undertaking of the organizations is the establishment of a thrift shop in St. Lucia with the aim of assisting nationals here at home. The executive director of the SSDF, Alison Mathre, noted that the St. Lucian associations from Canada, the United Kingdom, and the United States have shown absolute commitment towards the initiative.
I think the challenge was they wanted to find something that they could unify, come together on to make a meaningful dent in poverty in St. Lucia, and we were able to present that to them through a proposal that we set up a thrift shop in St. Lucia that would be funded by the USLOE, if you will, through contributions. And at the end of every year, we would have discussions with a steering committee that comprised members of the SSDF and the USLOE to determine what the funds would go to, the proceeds from that. That was, to me, one of the most amazing experiences at the SSDF. And I think it's a watershed, because there is no question that there are a number of St. Lucians living overseas that are very committed to helping St. Lucians in St. Lucia.
Mathre expressed gratitude to Watch Radio and Family and the St. Lucian Association of St. Croix, who have already made donations.
St. Croix, from the beginning, when we attended the biennial convention in the UK, from the beginning, they indicated that they were committed to helping, and they sent free barrels. This is not the first time they've sent stuff to us, and I'm very happy for Watch Radio. They seem very energized. Also, the Canadians have also been very helpful. They've done a house and what have you. So there is the will. There is the will from the associations in the US, the UK, and Canada. It is for us to match it here. And we are the SSDF staff. We are doing all we can to make this happen.
Ambassador for Diaspora Affairs, Her Excellency Dr. Joycelyn Clark Fletcher, expressed gratitude on behalf of the government of St. Lucia to the diaspora for all the assistance received, especially in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So this is a difficult time, but we are very positive. We are looking ahead. We know that things will get better. We know that all the things we had planned for St. Lucia for the diaspora is on hold, but we are not giving up. We are holding on, we are praying, we are pressing on, and we will keep on receiving. We have next week, or I think it's a week and a half again, we will be receiving wheelchairs and things from the Diabetic Association UK, St. Lucia Diabetic Association UK, and so many others of you send it. This is what you can do now because you cannot physically come, and if your holiday is very short, you don't want to come and spend 7 days in quarantine, and you want to protect those in St. Lucia that you love. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for working with us and the government. Thank you for giving.
The handing over ceremony of the donations received from Watch Radio and Family and the St. Lucia Association of St. Croix took place on Tuesday, October 6, 2020. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Sports and weather are coming up after the break.